Has the laws of the Old Testament been replaced by the law of love found in, theoretically, the New Testament? Hi, the Spirit fills the Timothy Torah, day 4 of the Echanan, and I pleaded. And again, we hear the pleading of Yah through Moshe to his people. If we go to Devarim or Deuteronomy, chapter number 5, verse 1 says, And Moshe called all Israel and said to them, Hear, O Israel, the laws and right rulings which I speak in your hearing today, and you shall learn them and guard to do them. Now, I'm going to try something other here. I don't know how successful or correct I will be, but let's give it a shot. Vayikra Moshe al kol Israel vayamar Elohim Shema Israel. And then we have this 2-letter word, I guess you would say, et, the Aleph Tav. Hakokim va'et, same thing again, Aleph Tav. Hamishmat patim asher anichi dabar. So the Hebrew. In this Hebrew the original Hebrew, the original lettering of this verse, 2 times it has the Aleph Tav inserted there. Now, the Aleph Tav, the Aleph and Tav is a direct object indicator, normally in the grammar rules of Hebrew. When you see Aleph Tav, it's not so much a word that is translated. It is pronounced, but it's not necessarily translated. What it does is it says that which follows is what the verb is acting on. So Israel is being commanded to hear what? Hear the laws. Here it is Hachukim, and the Hamishpatim, and it's Va'et there. Okay, what does all that mean? The Aleph Tav, when Yeshua said in Revelation chapter 1, a lot of our translation says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Well, Alpha and Omega are Greek letters. I've always, I won't say always, but a long time questioned, why would the Hebrew Messiah speak to a fellow Hebrew? Let's be even more specific. Why would the Jew Messiah, Yeshua, the Hebrew who is a Jew, speak to a fellow Jew, Yochanan or John, in Greek? They did not converse in Greek. Either Hebrew or the street version or a street version of Hebrew Aramaic. So Yeshua, I'm very confident, would not have said, I am the Alpha and Omega. He would have said, I am the Aleph and the Tav, the first and the last. So Aleph Tav, if he was saying, I am the Aleph Tav, then he is indicating, not every time, but oftentimes where we see the Aleph Tav in the Hebrew text, it could be that you look there and see, is there a revelation of Messiah? And here, in both instances, there is. So what Moshe is saying, Hear, O Israel, what? Et Hakukim. You are to hear through Messiah the Kochim, those commands that are beyond explanation, beyond reason and understanding. He simply says, do them, and so out of our love for him, if you love me, keep my commandments, Yeshua said, and Yochanan, or John 14. Out of our love and devotion for him, we keep them. And you also keep the Mishpatim, the commandments that we read many, many times of here in the Torah. Yeshua is not only giving then these chukim, these rulings or these laws and commands, but in him we are to also receive them. And then it says that you are to learn to do them. You are to learn them. Well, Mary, the word says that we are now under the law of grace and the law of love. But here it says, you shall learn them and then guard to do them. The word guard there is the Hebrew word shomer. Basically, an idea pertaining to that word is that you are to put on your armor and draw the sword to protect the integrity of these commands, to keep them from being diluted or changed, to take a defensive and protective stance, to be sure the integrity of the command is retained and guarded over. Moshe is not kidding here. He has given to us solid commands. What follows is a reiterating of the 10 words. And many would say, well, I tried to keep the 10 commandments. You tried to keep from lying. You tried to keep from dishonoring your parents. You tried to keep from serving other idols. Well, I tried to. I don't always succeed. Really? These 10 words are very much foundational to a righteous walk before Yah. Let's go over to the book of Yochanan, or John, if you will. And in chapter number 5, he says in verse 46 and 47, for if you believed Moshe, and we just read the words of Moshe, if you believed Moshe, you would have believed me, since he wrote about me. But if you do not believe his writings, how shall you believe my words? So let's go back. Here in chapter 5, Moshe is saying, through the Aleph Tav, you are to receive these laws and right rulings. You are to accept them, you are to learn them, and you are to guard the protecting and protect the application and the observance of them. Be sure that you do that. Yeshua agrees. These are about me. What Moshe wrote, he wrote about me. And if you don't believe Moshe, you're not going to believe me. It's actually pretty dangerous for anyone to say, well, I just don't believe we have to do all that stuff, and I believe it's all been done away with. Has Messiah been done away with? No. No, he hasn't. And the book of Romans, chapter number 2. Verse 13, for not the hearers of the Torah are righteous in the sight of Elohim, but the doers of the Torah shall be declared right. For when nations who do not have the Torah by nature do what is in the Torah, although not having the Torah, they are a Torah to themselves, who show the work of the Torah written in their hearts, their consciences also bearing witness, and between themselves their thoughts accusing or even excusing, in the day when Elohim shall judge the secrets of men through Yeshua, Messiah, according to my good news. Those of us who have the written Torah are accountable to following and keeping his commands in the Torah. For even among those who do not have the Torah to study or to read, when they honor their parents, they are keeping the Torah. When they refuse to kill or to steal or to lie or to bear false witness or to covet their neighbor's spouse, or when they keep a Shabbat before Yah, even they may not understand as we understand. Yah says, at the level that they are obeying, I will give them favor, and they will be accusing those of you who have the Torah and have no excuse for your lack of follow-through. So, Yeshua has given us his word through Moshe because he loves us. And he wants to teach us how to live a life well-pleasing in his sight. Let's not make it any harder than that. So read the word and do it today. And hopefully, I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, shalom.